So recently I made this poll which asked you guys who you would rather enrage, Sunny, Fang Yuan, Klein, or Kim Dokja. Now, to my surprise, this poll received a lot of responses, and I had a lot of fun reading through all of them. But something that became very apparent to me as I was going through the responses was that my initial question is actually very vague, as these statements can all technically be correct depending on how you interpret the initial question. So, I wanted to make this video not only to clarify the question, but to also share my view on it. Just so that the question is much more clear, I want to separate it into two scenarios, one being a scenario in which the character is so pissed off that they want to personally send you to the afterlife themselves, and the other being a scenario in which the character is pissed off, but it isn't to the point of them wanting to take your life. In the first scenario, where you're basically guaranteed to die, I'm very tempted to pick Klein, more specifically when he was Sherlock Moriarty, as your death would be very cinematic, with all the tarot cards around you. But honestly, if I think about it more, I don't think that I want to be turned into a tarot card pincushion or something along the lines of that, as I'm pretty sure that would be very painful. And for that reason, I would have to choose Kim Dokja, as choosing him is the equivalent of flipping a coin, because if you get lucky, he'll basically be too dead to really do anything to you. But if you get unlucky, well, it's really just up to his imagination what he wants to do with you. In terms of Fang Yuan and Sunny, I can see some people choosing Fang Yuan, even in this scenario, as he's not really the type to make your last moments on Earth very painful. But a decision that I do not understand why anyone would make is the decision of choosing Sunny, especially with all the options that we have here, as he is a very vindictive person who definitely will not be happy with just taking your life, as he would definitely want to cause you more harm and torture you along the way. In terms of the second scenario, where the character is just enraged, I don't think that there's any other person who I would rather enrage than Fang Yuan, because I don't know how I can say this in the most spoiler-free way, but there is a character in the story that literally did the equivalent of stabbing Fang Yuan in the back and causing him to regress once more. And in the story, Fang Yuan never really goes out of his way to seek revenge on the individual who did this to him. This is due to a multitude of reasons, one of them being that Fang Yuan, he has a lot of better stuff to do than seek revenge, and the other being that Fang Yuan, even if you enrage him by stealing his benefits, Fang Yuan is very good with not putting the blame on others for his own inadequacies. What will most likely happen is that he'll reflect upon himself, adapt, and improve from his mistakes. Now, don't get me wrong, as if you steal Fang Yuan's benefits, he's 100% coming after you to take it back, if that is possible. If it's not, he'll just probably move on to the next big thing. But say that it's the former, and you have something that he wants, which you stole from him. If you simply just give it back to him, then there's really no one on the list who would let bygones be bygones more than Fang Yuan. With that having been said, Kim Dokja and Klein are also very viable options for this scenario, as the only person who's not really viable for any of the two scenarios is Sunny. I don't know if I got this across, but if you make Sunny mad or piss him off in any way possible, then he'll find all of the ways to mess with you. He'll probably put his own bike lock on your bike and use his shadow powers to mess with you in numerous amount of ways that I can't even start to imagine. With that having been said, hopefully this makes the question much more clear and less vague. Let me know what your choices are after seeing the video, and as always, thank you for watching.